quick. I think we've been dancing around the root of the problem, and that is that capitalism is what's killing the planet. Corporations cut corners and ride roughshod through regulations wherever necessary in order to reduce costs, outcompete rivals and capture new markets to maximise their profits. This race to the bottom is the logical result of a system based on private ownership, competition and production for profit. It boils down to a simple question of who pays. The wealth exists, but it sits idly in the bank accounts of big business and is frittered away by the imperialist powers on means of destruction. Just 10 US corporations are hoarding over $1.1 trillion in cash. And the capitalists and their political representatives will not be persuaded by moral arguments, nor by facts and figures which they have ample access to. At the end of the day, this out-of-touch elite will not do anything to protect the earth, as their only criterion is maximising profit at the expense of the rest of us. Global action is needed to solve a global problem. Endless climate summits are called and international treaties signed, but this is also much hot air. Even when agreements are made, these protocols and accords are toothless, the targets non-binding. A member of the global 1% is responsible for 175 times the carbon emissions of someone in the bottom 10%. Workers are not stupid. They can see the rank hypocrisy of the establishment and their political spokespersons telling ordinary people like us to make sacrifices for the sake of the planet. Meanwhile, they live on another planet entirely, accumulating obscene levels of wealth and flying around in private jets. It is the profit motive that is the problem. We live in an economic system that relies on the constant consumption of commodities and the accumulation of profits. The capitalists produce not to meet needs, but to make profits. This leads to a race to the bottom, creating enormous levels of waste and pollution. There are enough resources produced already for every person on the planet to live a comfortable and decent life. If these were distributed in a rational and equitable way, there would be enough for everyone without any additional production or waste. What is needed is systematic, fundamental and international economic change. Sorry, I'll quickly turn my paper over. Expropriate the rich. You're taking it off them and stolen from us anyway. In short, the climate question is a class question. Who owns? Who decides? We need to plan rationally and democratically how we utilise the planet's resources, what technology we need to develop and deploy. But as the old saying goes, you cannot plan what you do not control, and you do not control what you do not own. 100 companies are responsible for over 70% of greenhouse gas emissions. Similarly, around 90% of landfill waste in advanced capitalist countries comes from large-scale industrial processes. All of this highlights where the real blame for the environmental crisis lies, and it demonstrates clearly the solution. Bring these companies and industries under common ownership and democratic control as part of a rational plan of production. Only then can we bring about a sustainable economy where rising living standards are not in contradiction with protecting the planet. We, the working class, the youth and exploited people of the world, can rely only on ourselves to act. This means organising and mobilising to end this rotting capitalist system before it ends us. Thank you.